Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Over Tea. I'm Anna, and I'm so excited you're here today. Whether you're at home, on a bus, or maybe even sipping coffee in a cafe, you are about to take a big step in your English journey.
And I'm Dan. Hello to all of our wonderful listeners wherever you are in the world right now.
Dan, how are you today? You seem a little sleepy this morning. Lots of yawning going on over there.
I am fine. I'm totally fine. I am just adjusting, to be honest.
Adjusting. Adjusting to what?
Adjusting back to the noise. I spent the entire weekend visiting my family out in the countryside in the village where I grew up. And coming back to my apartment in the city last night was a massive shock to the system.
Oh, I can imagine. It is a completely different world out there, isn't it?
It really is. In the village, at night, it is completely silent. You can actually hear the wind in the trees. You can hear the crickets. Last night in my city apartment, I heard 3 police sirens, a garbage truck at 4 a.m., and my upstairs neighbor practicing the violin.
Practicing the violin at 4 a.m.? That is dedication. But I completely understand what you mean. The transition from the peaceful countryside to the loud city can be overwhelming.
Overwhelming is the perfect word. Overwhelming means that something is too much to handle. It affects you very strongly. The noise was definitely overwhelming.
Okay, so that is actually the perfect way to start today's episode because today we are talking about city life versus village life in English.
Yes, and I think this is a topic that everyone can relate to. Whether you live in a massive metropolis right now, a tiny village, or maybe you are dreaming of moving from one to the other.
And quick question for everyone listening right now. Where do you live? Do you live in a big city, a small town, or a rural village? And which one do you actually prefer? Tell us in the comments. We genuinely love reading them.
We do. Okay, where do we even start with this massive topic?
I think we start with the most obvious difference, which you already mentioned, the pace of life.
Oh, here we go, because this is where the gap really shows between the two lifestyles.
It really does. When you live in the city, everything is fast paced. Fast paced means that things happen very quickly. Everyone is always in a hurry. You walk fast, you talk fast, you drink your coffee fast while running to catch the train.
I remember that feeling when I first moved to the city. I would be walking down the street at a normal speed, and people would actually sigh and walk around me because I wasn't moving fast enough.
Exactly. The city has this constant vibrating energy. It is always bustling. Bustling means full of busy activity. There are always people moving, cars driving, things happening.
And in the village, the pace is completely different. It is laid back. Laid back means relaxed and not worried about rushing. In the village, if you go to the local shop, you do not just buy your milk and leave. You stop, you talk to the shop owner about the weather, about their family, about the local news.
That sounds lovely. But honestly, sometimes I just want to buy my milk and go home. I don't always have 20 minutes to chat about the weather.
And that is the classic city mindset. You are always thinking about the next thing on your schedule. In the village, the present moment is the schedule.
That is a very philosophical way to put it. But let's talk about something else that is completely different space.
Oh, yes, space is an absolute luxury in the city.
It really is. In the city, most people live in apartments, and often those apartments are quite cramped. Cramped means feeling like there is not enough space, feeling restricted.
My first city apartment was so cramped if I opened the fridge, I blocked the front door.
I believe it. But you accept that cramped space because of the location. You are paying to be near the action. But in the village, space is normal.
Yes, in the village, homes are generally much more spacious. Spacious means having a lot of room. You often have a garden, maybe a driveway, a front porch. You don't share walls with neighbors who play the violin at 4 a.m.
Okay, you are really stuck on this violin thing. But you're right. Having a garden is something I genuinely miss about the countryside. Having a private outdoor space to drink your coffee in the morning is wonderful.
But, and I will be fair here, keeping up a large house and a garden is a lot of work. In an apartment, if the roof leaks, you call the landlord. If you have a house in the village, you have to fix it yourself or find someone to do it.
Exactly. And that brings me to my absolute favorite thing about city life: convenience.
I knew you were going to bring up convenience.
I have to. Convenience is the quality of being useful, easy, or suitable for someone. And the city is the king of convenience. If I want Thai food at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday, I can open an app on my phone and someone will bring it to my door in 20 minutes.
That is true. In my village, the only restaurant closes at 8 p.m. and they only serve pizza on Fridays.
See? In the city, everything is highly accessible. Accessible means easy to get to or easy to reach. We have public transit, huge supermarkets, specialized doctors, cinemas, museums. It's all right outside your front door.
And it's not just food and entertainment. Think about getting around. In the city, you rely entirely on buses, trams, and subway systems.
Yes, public transit. You don't even need to own a car in most big cities.
But in the village, a car is an absolute necessity. A necessity means something you must have. Without a car in the countryside, you are completely isolated. You can't get to work, you can't buy groceries easily.
That's true. So while the city has higher rent, you might save money by not having car insurance, petrol costs, and maintenance.
Yes, but convenience comes at a price, literally. The cost of living in the city is usually much higher than in the village.
We should definitely talk about the money aspect.
Can we talk about money for a second? Because this is another huge difference.
Oh, yes, the money brain completely changes when you switch environments. In the city, honestly, you see money as something that arrives and then immediately leaves.
That is exactly right. Between the high rent, the expensive coffees, and the temptation to eat out every night, your budget takes a massive hit. A budget is a financial plan to show how much money you have and exactly how you will spend it.
And in the city, sticking to a budget is incredibly difficult. There's always a new restaurant opening, a new museum exhibit, or a new store. You walk outside your door and instantly spend $20 just by existing.
Whereas in the village, the temptation to spend money on a whim is practically zero.
Practically zero? Really?
Well, mostly. In the village, what are you going to spend your money on at 9 p.m. on a Wednesday? The sheep? There's nowhere to go. You naturally save more money because there are simply fewer opportunities to spend it.
I remember being in my mid 20s and thinking I needed to live right in the center of the city to truly live. That carefree attitude towards spending is fun when you're young, but eventually you're standing in a supermarket comparing prices on two different brands of pasta. And doing that in an expensive city supermarket is painful.
Exactly. But money isn't everything. Let's talk about the people. Say more about that because I think this is where the social life really changes between the two.
Community. This is perhaps the most profound difference. In a village, you have a close-knit community. Close-knit means that the people are very closely connected and support each other warmly,
Yes, everyone knows your name, your parents' names, your dog's name, and probably what you had for breakfast.
which can be wonderful, but also a little bit overwhelming. If you make a mistake or do something silly in a village, everyone knows about it by Tuesday morning.
Gossip travels fast. Gossip is casual conversation or reports about other people, typically involving details that are not confirmed as being true. In a village, gossip is almost like a local sport.
But at the same time, if you are sick or need help, that same close-knit community will bring you hot soup and take care of you. You're never truly alone.
That is very true. Now, contrast that with the city. The city offers anonymity.
Anonymity, that is a great word. Anonymity means being anonymous or not being known by name to other people. In a city of 5 million people, you can be completely invisible.
You can walk down the street in your pajamas to buy a coffee and absolutely nobody will care. Nobody knows you.
It feels like freedom. Some of my best memories started with that feeling of complete independence in a big crowd. You can reinvent yourself in a city. You can be whoever you want to be without your neighbors judging you.
But the dark side of that anonymity is loneliness. It is very easy to feel incredibly lonely in a city full of millions of people. You're surrounded by crowds on the subway, but you don't actually connect with anyone.
That is a very real problem. You have to work much harder to find your community in a city. You have to join clubs, go to events, actively seek out friends. In a village, the community is built in.
So we have the fast pace and anonymity of the city versus the relaxed, close-knit vibe of the village. What about the physical environment, the air we breathe?
Oh, this is the part where the village definitely wins. Let's talk about nature and greenery. Greenery refers to green plants or foliage.
The air quality in my village this weekend was crisp. Crisp air is cool, fresh, and invigorating. I took a deep breath and my lungs actually felt happy.
I am jealous. In the city, we have to deal with pollution. Pollution is the presence of harmful substances in the environment, especially in the air and water. We have car exhaust, factory smoke, and construction dust.
It literally changes the color of the sky sometimes. In the village at night, I looked up and saw thousands of bright stars. It was breathtaking.
In the city, we're lucky if we can see 3 stars through the smog. Smog is a type of air pollution that looks like a mixture of smoke and fog.
But city planners are trying to fix this. We do have beautiful parks.
Yes, city parks are wonderful escapes, but a planned, manicured park is very different from stepping out of your back door straight into a wild forest or an open, rolling field. The connection to nature is just fundamentally different.
It is different, and honestly, I've made peace with it. Mostly. I love the city parks, even if they are crowded.
It all comes down to what you value more on a daily basis. Do you want to hear birds singing in the morning, or do you want to have 5 different options for artisan coffee within a 2-minute walk?
That is the ultimate question. And here's the thing that surprised me most about getting older. Your priorities shift completely.
Priorities are the things that feel most important to you. In your 20s, your priorities are more about the present moment, fun, experiences, feeling alive. The city matches that perfectly.
But eventually, your priorities start including the future, security, stability. That word stabilize, which means your life becomes more steady and less chaotic. Moving to a village is often a sign of that stabilization.
And stabilizing your life actually feels good, even if it sounds boring from the outside.
It sounds incredibly boring from the outside, but from the inside, it genuinely feels like relief, like you finally stopped running and sat down for a minute.
Exactly that. Now, I will say this, and I want to be fair. There is something beautiful about the city attitude. You take risks, you try things, you spend money on experiences without overthinking.
100%. There is a balance here. The city teaches you to hustle. The village teaches you to breathe.
And we can't ignore how much things have changed recently with remote work. A few years ago, if you wanted a successful career, you absolutely had to be in the city. Remote work means working from your house or another location rather than going into a traditional office.
It is a game changer. A game changer is an event, idea, or procedure that affects a significant shift in the current way of doing or thinking about something. Because of remote work, so many people are packing up and leaving the city. They're taking their city salaries and moving to the village where the cost of living is lower.
Which is causing its own set of problems, like housing prices going up in those small villages. But that is probably a topic for a completely different episode.
Definitely a different episode. But it proves that people crave that connection to nature and that slower pace once they don't have to commute to an office every day. A commute is the regular journey of some distance to and from one's place of work.
I used to commute for an hour each way on a crowded train. I do not miss that at all. Okay, I want to talk about something a little deeper now. Not just energy or money, but who you actually are in each environment.
Oh, this is the interesting part. Because in the city, I think a lot of people are still figuring themselves out. You're trying different things, different jobs, different versions of yourself.
Yes, in the city, you feel a lot of pressure to have everything figured out. The right career, the right path, the right answers. And everyone around you seems to be moving faster than you.
That feeling is so exhausting. And I was very ambitious when I lived downtown. Ambitious means you want to achieve big things. You want to prove yourself, which is great. Ambition is a good thing.
It is, but I confused being ambitious with being constantly stressed. I thought they were the same thing.
They are not the same thing.
They are not. And here's what I want to say about village life. And this is the part that actually surprised me. You become more self-aware.
Oh, that's such an important word. Self-aware means you understand your own feelings, your strengths, your weaknesses. You know yourself better. And that changes everything. Because when you know yourself, you stop wasting energy trying to be something you're not.
Which connects to something else, your rhythm. Your rhythm is the natural flow and pattern of your day, your week, your life. And in the city, the rhythm is everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Meaning chaotic, very chaotic. But in a village, most people find a rhythm that actually works for them, and then they protect it fiercely.
Yes, don't disturb my rhythm. Okay, I have a question for you, and I want you to be honest. What do you genuinely miss about living in a big city?
Just one thing? Let's say one or two.
Okay. I miss the feeling that everything was still possible, like the future was this huge open door and I didn't have to choose yet.
Oh, that's a beautiful way to say it. Yeah, that openness. But what about you? What do you miss?
Honestly, I miss being able to order food late without consequences. There was something wonderful about being awake at midnight, just talking to friends, not worrying about tomorrow.
But here's the other side. What do you not miss about the city?
Oh, easy. I do not miss the anxiety, that constant background feeling of, am I doing enough?
In the village, you just care less about things that don't matter, and you care more about things that do. Like you stop performing for other people and start just living.
Less noise, more clarity. And honestly, a really good pair of gardening gloves.
The gardening gloves are life-changing, Dan. Don't underestimate them. Okay, everyone, let's bring it all together before we finish today.
Yes, because we covered a lot in this episode.
We talked about the pace of life, how the fast-paced city compares to the laid-back village. We talked about space, feeling cramped in apartments versus having spacious gardens. We talked about community, the anonymity of the big metropolis versus the close-knit, sometimes gossipy nature of a small town.
We talked about money and priorities, how your thinking shifts from spending freely in the city to something more stable in the countryside.
And we talked about what we miss and what we really don't miss, the anxiety. I do not miss the anxiety one bit.
And here is what I want to leave you with. Both environments are valuable. The city teaches you who you want to be. The village teaches you who you actually are.
Nicely said. And wherever you are, going to bed at 10 p.m. on a Saturday is completely acceptable.
I stand by it. Okay, we have one final question for you today, and we really want to read your answers in the comments.
Yes. What is one thing you genuinely miss from a previous place you lived? Just one thing. Write it below.
We want to hear it. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to English Over Tea and give this video a like. It really helps us reach more learners like you.
Share this with a friend, especially one who is currently debating whether 10 p.m. is too early to go to sleep.
It is never too early. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. Keep practicing, keep listening, and remember, every phase of your life has something wonderful in it. We will see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.